All right, I want to share something very special with you today, but before I do, I have one little request. If you're not seated already, please have a seat for this. If you are seated and you have a seat belt available, please put it on now. If you have a helmet available, please put that on as well. That's even better. Because what I'm about to share with you might blow your fucking mind. It might knock you cold onto your ass. You might hit your head off the ground. You might get a concussion. And depending on the severity of the fall and concussion, if you get one, you could die. And I do not want to be responsible for that. So if you could do that for me real quick, it'd be greatly appreciated. Now, I value this piece of information, what I'm about to share with you, at $25,000 a year. I'm going to explain how I came to that conclusion. I charge $100 a workout. If you trained with me 5 days a week, which would be ideal for most people, that's $500 a week. That's $2,000 a month. There are 12 months in the year, and there are 52 weeks in the year. So depending on how you add it up, it averages out to roughly $25,000 a year. I'm going to give you this information for free. Now, this is the answer to questions such as, what's the best training program? What's the best exercise? What's the best amount of weight I could be lifting depending on my goal? What is the best amount of sets and reps to build muscle, burn fat, get stronger, whatever? What's the best rest interval, tempo, all of that? What's the best? Now, this also happens to be the same answer that you would get if you asked me, Ben, I want to come and train with you. What program would you put me on? What are you going to do with me? So if you're putting the dots together in your head right now, if this is the answer to what's the best and what you would get if you came with me, you would get the best. So the answer to those questions, and I hope you're sitting down, I hope you took my recommendation because it's going to blow your fucking mind, is 2 words. It depends. It depends. Depends on a lot of different things. It depends on your capacity to recover. Your capacity to recruit certain muscles will determine what tools are best for you and how they should be used. The amount of sets and reps and rest that you should take will be based on the focus, intensity, concentration, and effort that goes into your work. And the funny thing is, if we reverse the roles here, and I came to you and I said, if you want to get the absolute best results, come train with me. It'll cost you 25 grand a year. Here's your program. It depends. Would you be willing to invest in that? Most people would probably say, no, that's not a good business strategy. That's not a good business plan. Where's the plan? You got to understand that training, irrespective of what you're training for, is a subjective experience that only you can experience. So you have to pay attention to the signs and signals and the feedback that your body is giving you, because it'll give you better information than I can give you. And the way your body is responding to the work that you're doing based on the focus, intensity, concentration, and effort that goes in should determine what else you do, the appropriate course correction as you go. You got to understand that building muscle is an internal response. Getting stronger is an internal response. Burning fat, looking better, improving your level of physical preparedness for sport is an internal response. These are physiological, neurological, metabolic responses that you're trying to promote. Training is subjective. You have to pay attention to the way your body's responding to the work that you're doing. So when people ask me these questions like, what is the best? It depends. It depends on a lot of different things. And people want the best program. People believe that there is magic in the external cues, but there's no magic in that. There's no magical program that you haven't found yet that exists somewhere that'll get you the best results. There's no magical exercise that nobody has discovered yet that'll get you better results than the exercise you're currently doing or that you currently heard of. The magic comes from within. It comes from within the strategy, and the strategy should be designed around you and what you're capable of, your capacity to recover. How much volume can your body tolerate? Your capacity to recruit. The focus, intensity, concentration, and effort that goes into your work should determine everything else. But a lot of people would be much quicker to act to buy a program that they find online or just find one for free. Maybe they pay $500 from somebody that they found on Instagram that they want to look like, not realizing that the pictures they're looking at are photoshopped anyways. And they want to believe that that is their ticket to success. That is the key to unlocking their potential. Now, this isn't to suggest that you can't get results by doing that. Because here's the thing. You will get results by working hard as long as what you're doing isn't completely fucking idiotic. In fact, you don't even need to know what the fuck you're doing. And as long as you're working hard, you'll probably get some sort of positive response. But if you want the best results, you have to understand the underlying fundamental foundational principles that should guide and influence the decision-making process when designing a strategy, and understand how to make the appropriate course correction as you go based on the way your body is responding to the work that you're doing. So when people ask me, what's the best? That's it right there. And if you want to come train with me, what are you going to get? That's it right there. But the decisions will be based on all of the internal cues and the underlying fundamental foundational principles that I teach. And I value it at $25,000 a year. Now, do you need a year? Most people don't need a year. In fact, most people are quick learners. Or maybe I'm a good teacher. I don't know. Now, this isn't a sales pitch in any way. But I just wanted to touch on what training is all about, because a lot of people are not getting it. They're still focusing on externals. When I talk about capacity to recruit, they say, what's the best exercise? I say, I need to see you in person to figure this out. I can ask you questions over the phone, over Skype, through messages on a message board or a public forum. But until I work with you one-on-one, I can't give you the best answer. This is also why some of who I consider to be the best coaches in the world refrain from doing online services, because they know to give the best service needs to be in person and it needs to be one-on-one. They can give answers to questions, but most will not write online programs. Christian Thibodeau won't do it. I don't think Charles Poliquin will do it either. Even if you paid him a boatload of money. The guy's probably got more money than he could ever spend anyways, so it's of little value to him. But to these people, I believe their reputation is more important than the money. And they know that to get the best results, they're going to need to see you in person. Because the answer, the real answer, the honest answer, and the right answer is always, it depends. If you like the information, share it, click the fucking button at the bottom, subscribe to the channel. I will keep bringing you the best information that you are going to find as it relates to training to build muscle, get stronger, improve your level of physical preparedness for sport, lose fat, look better, all that fucking shit.